background. This is cause number 2020 CR0947B as in boy, the state of Texas versus Brandon Keith Velasquez. Attorneys, please make your announcements for the record.
Travis Rodriguez from the state of Texas.
Warren Wolf representing Mr. Velasquez.
Mr. Velasquez is appearing by video conference from the Bexar County Jail. Go ahead and tell me your full name, Brandon.
Brandon Keith Velasquez.
Okay, we're gonna take up the state jail felony credit or debit card abuse first, and then we're gonna go into the pending MTRs that you have. Do you understand what we're doing?
Yes, ma'am.
On the screen, I have the true bill of indictment that was filed in this cause. It alleges the offense of credit or debit card abuse. In count one, actually, both counts look identical.
Judge, if I may, I think it was probably a charging error on our part. They're two separate complainants, so it should be a complainant for count one, count two. In any event, because of the that error, state moves to waive and abandon count two of the indictment, proceed solely on count one of the indictment.
No objection.
A state jail felony is punishable by confinement in the state jail facility of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. It carries a possible fine of up to $10,000, and the term of confinement can be anywhere from 6 months to 2 years confinement. Do you understand the range of punishment that applies, Mr. Velasquez?
Yes, ma'am.
On this charge, you have the right to a jury trial. You have the right to cross-examine all the witnesses against you, and you have the right to remain silent. Those are your constitutional rights. Do you understand those?
Yes, ma'am.
When you sign the document I have on the screen, the court admonishments, what you're telling me is you want to give up those rights. Is that what you intend to do?
Yes, ma'am.
And is this your electronic signature I'm showing you on the screen?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
If you are not a citizen, I'm still required to tell you that a plea of guilty or no contest to this charge could result in deportation, exclusion from admission to the country, or denial of naturalization under federal law. Mr. Velasquez, are you satisfied with the representation of Mr. Wolf?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Mr. Wolf, does your client have a rational and factual understanding of the proceedings against him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has he been able to assist you in the preparation of any defenses?
He has.
In your opinion, is he mentally competent to waive his rights and enter into a plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
I will accept the waiver and make it part of the record. Mr. Velasquez, on the screen, I have the agreement that you have made today. The agreement calls for confinement in the Bexar County Jail. I'm going to assume, yes, 1244, pursuant to 1244 of the Penal Code. So 90 days in the Bexar County Jail. The state is going to dismiss cost number 661298. And the agreement is that this case is satisfied. Is that your understanding of the agreement, Mr. Velasquez?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Wolf, is that your agreement?
It is.
And Mr. Rodriguez, is that your agreement?
It is our agreement. Yes, Your Honor.
What is your plea to the charge of credit or debit card abuse? Is it guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
I'm guilty.
Are you pleading guilty because you are guilty and for no other reason?
Yes, ma'am.
Has anyone forced you to enter a plea of guilty
No, ma'am.
or offered you anything in exchange for your plea?
No, ma'am.
I will accept the plea of guilty. I find it's voluntarily made, and I will ask the state to tender its proof.
State offers in evidence State's Exhibit 1 in all of its attachments, pending any objections.
No objection, Your Honor.
State's one is admitted. Mr. Wolf, are you satisfied the state complied with Article 3914?
Yes, Your Honor.
I will sign the discovery acknowledgement and make it part of the record. Give me just a few minutes to read the exhibit, and I will be right back. Let's go back on the record on Brandon Velasquez. I do find the evidence is sufficient to substantiate your guilt. And I will find you guilty of the offense of credit or debit card abuse. That's a state jail felony. I will assess punishment at 90 days confinement in the Bexar County Jail pursuant to 1244. How many days does he have in, Nicole?
You are not going to utilize that fact. That's what he said, to go back to the captain's program, right? 124. Yeah, that's what I was doing before. Like I told you, I did the captain's program. Yes, they did. You can be an issue, because I can reset you, I can call the judge real quick, okay? Yeah, you're not gonna argue with me. You have
I do
questions?
find that the judgment is satisfied for Mr. Velasquez. And state, did you send me a dismissal?
Not yet, no, Judge, but I will work on that as we take the next plea.
Okay. Mr. Velasquez, this is a plea bargain case. I did follow your plea bargain agreement. What that means is you do not have a right to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'm familiar with this case because your co-defendant took a plea. He worked through Bexar County Gives Back, and he worked during the snowstorm. Like, we didn't have the program during the snowstorm, but I remember he was one of the ones that still showed up on Zoom. So not that one. Okay, let me pull up the, so did you say that there was a new tab or not a new tab? Because I see an old tab.
We rescheduled from about 3 weeks ago because the TAP eval, the old TAP had expired. And there is a new TAP that was done as of about a week ago.
I'll call those cases on the record in a little bit. Bianca, did you send me the new tab as well? Okay. I get those. Let's go on the record on the MTRs. Michael, hi. Let's go on the record, please. This is cause number 2018 CR 6123 and 2018 CR 9460, the state of Texas versus Brandon Velasquez on the MTRs. I have the PSI. This PSI recommends supportive outpatient. So are you guys looking at a different PSI than me?
No, but that's the rub, Judge. The updated TAP eval. The original TAP eval recommended outpatient treatment, but that had expired, and we were trying to get outpatient treatment. So we said, well, let's take a look at let's update the TAP eval and see what those folks recommend. So we do have the updated TAP eval, and they recommend supportive outpatient treatment, the outpatient treatment program, monthly UAs, documented sober support meetings, as directed by the court. So that's where we diverge in how this case should be resolved. So it's whether
Okay,
he,
so in the TAP evaluation, your client says that the credit card, debit card abuse case and the failure to ID case were not, drugs and alcohol were not part of the equation. So
that's true, but he did have within the prior case, the burglary case that he's on probation for, there was some drugs involved, and he had a history of it in the past. So when they did their evaluation, they thought that he would benefit from counseling. And I know, and he can explain the problems in getting to that outpatient previously. But he has a family, a job, he has young children that he needs to support. He's been sitting in jail. So the support is there. We have the programs to support him. He understands, and I've had many conversations with him, not only today, but several on ICS, meeting with him at the jail, the importance of, if the court fit, to put him back into that outpatient program, that he's going to be under a microscope and he's going to be on a short leash. But that's up to you.
All right, Mr. Velasquez, go ahead and raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this cause shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
And let me, before you start your questions of him, Mr. Wolf, I'm mostly not necessarily as concerned with a substance abuse issue as I am with the poor decision-making. So can you inquire from your client?
Yes, Judge. So you can put your hand down, Brandon. After you were put on probation, there was you were reporting originally, right?
You said I was reporting originally? I'm sorry, you kind of broke out. Sorry about that, Mr. Wolf.
Yeah, when you first started, you were reporting, right?
Yes, sir.
But then kind of things fell apart. What happened?
Just life happened. My mom's health started to decline. My girlfriend got pregnant. It was just a lot of things were happening. But as far as I failed one drug test. Then after that, I hung around some friends that weren't really my friends, and then I picked up that credit card case, and then after that, I tried retaining money so I could get a lawyer. And then that's when my girlfriend got pregnant. My mom started having health issues and she's getting older. And then, so fast forward, I'm also providing for my family, my two young boys as well, which I have.
How old are your children?
They're 3 and 4 now. So I was trying to provide for them as well, because me and my kid's mother have our own, I'm not on child support or any of that. I'm very active in their lives. So that's, I provide for them that way. And
do they have a substitute? You've been in jail now for a while. Do they have does your girlfriend have a way to replace the money that you were providing?
No, their mom is a great mother. She does what she can, and I won't say that they will have to go without. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's harder without me, but their mom is fantastic at she's doing a wonderful job, doing the best she can.
And I know she's been in contact with me very often, concerned about you. If the judge put you on a outpatient program, do you understand the need to do that program religiously?
Yes, sir. I'll do whatever it takes. I'll wear a monitor. I'll report every week if needed. I will do whatever it takes just to get back to my family and back to work and just get my life started again.
Now, you've been in jail for how long?
Since May 16th.
And so you haven't been using any drugs, so you're clean now.
Yes, sir.
And if you took a UA, if you were released, today, tomorrow, and went to probation, and they did a UA, your baseline would be 0 then.
Yes, sir.
And you understand any increase will obviously be something that happened since you were released. And that's a no-no.
Yes, sir. I understand. Completely understand.
Back in jail.
Yes, sir.
Pass the witness.
Mr. Rodriguez.
I don't have any questions, Your Honor, just argument and the MTR before the court.
Okay, so before I get too far ahead, I do need to take pleas on the MTRs because I don't have a record of me taking a plea on the MTR. So let me pull them up and then state, you can read the violations and then I'll tell you what I want to do.
Judge, okay, as it's an open plea, I think we would like to proceed on just all of them.
Okay,
Well, some of them, Judge, have been dismissed. The gun cases have been dismissed. And obviously one of the credit card cases has been dismissed.
All right, that's fine, Morn. Judge, if you'd like me to read specific violations, I'd be happy to do so.
You know, just pick a violation, you know, the new credit card case, the possession case.
I'm satisfied if you read the violation of condition number 1 on the credit card case, since you already pled.
May I proceed, Your Honor?
Yes.
Okay, the state specifically alleges in the first amended motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision that on or about the 11th day of November 2019 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant Brandon Keith Velasquez committed the offense of credit debit card abuse in violation of condition number 1.
Is that true or not true?
That is true, Your Honor.
Okay, that's for cause number ending in 6123. Let's do cause number ending in 9460, please. I could switch over. There you go, Travis.
Thank you, Judge. In this case, Your Honor, the state proceeds on violation condition number 1. On or about the 11th day of November 2019 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant Brandon Keith Velasquez committed the offense of credit debit card abuse in violation of condition number 1.
Is that true or not true?
That is true, Your Honor.
Probation, how much did he pay on the restitution so far?
Judge, so far on case number 2018 CR 9460, he's paid $50 in restitution. And then the second case, 2018 CR 6123, he's paid $47.
All right, Mr. Velasquez, I remember taking your plea. I remember you very clearly. And this probation is not going how I had pictured it would be going. And I understand that life happens, but life doesn't happen to just you. It happens to everybody. And even if life happens again, you're gonna have to find a way to comply with your probation. When I put you on deferred, I told you I wanted all of that restitution paid, and you haven't paid it. So I need you to focus. You're gonna get out. You're gonna focus on paying the restitution. I'm going to deny the state's motion in each of these cases. I'm going to alter and amend the conditions of deferred. I'm going to order state ISF, both cognitive and substance abuse track, but I'm going to hold it in abeyance. What that means is if you fail to report, you fail to submit to a UA, you fail to make a payment on your restitution, you test dirty, you test, diluted, whatever the case is, you're going to go into custody and you're going to go to a different structure for your probation. You're going to go into the residential component, and that is a minimum of 180 days per track. So just know that if this probation doesn't advance the way I envisioned it, you're going to look at a whole year of your life just to finish those 2 tracks. I'm not going to mess around anymore. You got
Yes,
it?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I'm also going to order in the meantime that you take a cognitive behavior class. And I want weekly UAs for 90 days. And I want a compliance hearing in 90 days. Every single thing you told me today, I'm going to remember.
Yes,
So no
ma'am.
more life happens, no more bad friends, none of that. That's not gonna work with me anymore. You're going straight to state ISF if this doesn't work.
Yes, ma'am. Understood.
Okay?
Judge-
Yes?
He has one outstanding misdemeanor in county court 12 that I've contacted their coordinator, and that needs to be taken care of before he'll be able to be released, to be able to report to probation. So I just wanted to let you and probation know that his release is going to be delayed because of that misdemeanor.
Yes, so probation, make a note of that.
Thank you, Judge.
I need you to go in a breakout room with probation so you can sign your new conditions. Ashley, can you come in out in the courtroom? I need to see you, please.
Yes, ma'am. I'll be right there.
And then Gretchen and Mr. Delgado, I need you guys to go in a breakout room with me.
Judge, may I be excused?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very
And then
much.
when I get back from the breakout room, Mr. Trevino, I'll take care of your case.
Thank you.
No, I didn't move anybody. That must have been Ashley.
It was me by accident, Judge. I was trying to move Mr. Velasquez in there.
So Mr. Delgado, I'll see you in room number 4. Gretchen, I'll see you in room number 4. Oh, you're in 1. Actually, everybody moved to 1. Mr. Delgado, it's going to be number 1. Do you see the invite? If not, have one of the bailiffs and back there assist you. And then I guess I have to order that one needs to join me in the breakout room. Mhm. So Mr. Davidson, where's Mr. Young?
Mr. Young, I just called him to say that, we probably just.
Okay, Okay. okay.
One. I called multiple times. They're calling back, there's no limit. Hey, Corporal, does any of you guys got the names on it now? I'm just checking it, so I'm kind of make sure I'm giving quick copy stuff. Address, so we go 6372, address, so we go 6372. I can hear you. I can hear you. I can hear you. Oh, can you hear me now? Okay. No problem. Take your time, take your time, take your time, take your time. What's up? Yeah, knock on the door.
Oh, did you ever find that body reduction? Yeah, I was trying to get that body reduction. Well, like I said before, that one case, there's none. And I was never arrested for that.
Hello, Ashley. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Ashley, the judge wanted myself and Mr. Fields to be in a breakout with Mr. Delgado. I don't know if you do that or who do we need to speak to?
Join.
Mr. Delgado, you need to go to room 16.
Mr. Trevino, you ready on Segovia?
Yes, I know. Ashley, is the prosecutor on this one?
It was me, but Travis is going to handle it.
Yeah, I'm here. We got it.
Okay. Sorry, I just didn't see that.
Which case are we going on? The MTR?
Yes.
Going to plead to the number 5s on all of them, Judge, with revocation.
Oh, she's on probation for all of them, right?
Correct.
When I don't take the plea, it's really hard to read Judge Harl's old, like, I don't know if you can see, but he has like one-liners. I don't know if anybody can make that out.
A lot of one-liners, Judge.
That's what I'm dealing with on my end. I shouldn't say that too loud because he's on the first floor today. You guys have an agreement on this?
Yes.
Okay, so let's go on the record, David. These are cause numbers 2017 CR 6791, 2017 CR 1537, and 2017 CR 6943. The state of Texas versus Elisa Marie Segovia. Attorneys, please make your announcements for the record.
Travis Rodriguez for the state of Texas.
Fernando Trevino for the accused.
Ms. Segovia is appearing by video conference from the Bexar County Jail. Go ahead and tell me your full name, ma'am.
Elisa Marie Segovia.
On the screen, I have the first amended motion to revoke your community supervision. Have you had a chance to review the allegations in each of these cases with your attorney? Ms. Segovia?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand what the state is saying that you have failed to comply with on your probation?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, state, go ahead, read your first violation.
Yes, Your Honor. In cause number 2017 CR 6791, the state alleges in this first amended motion to revoke probation at the bottom of the screen, violation condition number 5 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant Elisa Marie Segovia did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer, A, in person, B, in person, and or by mail for the months of November, December 2019, January, February 2020 in violation of condition number 5.
Is that true or not true, Ms. Segovia?
True.
Judge, that's going to be the same all across the board. Do you want me to read it for each case?
No, Miss, I'll take a plea on cause number ending in 1537 to that violation. How do you plead? Is it true or not true?
It's true.
And in cause number ending in 6943 to the same violation of condition number 5, is that true or not true, Ms. Segovia?
True.
State waives the remaining allegations, Your Honor.
Okay. What is the recommendation?
After the state has conferred with opposing counsel, we have come to an agreement, and that is in all 3 cases to grant the state's motion to revoke community supervision and reform the sentence to reflect 2 years in the Texas Department of Corrections.
Is that your agreement, Mr. Trevino?
It is, Your Honor. And also I'd like to add that she completed the safety program and she has 328 days in the residential facility. And then I think in cause number 6943, the clerk said she had 244 days. But I was uncertain if she meant that was while in residential or outside of residential. And then on the other cause number, she had 268 days. That's what the clerk informed me. And I believe that if you give her credit for those, Your Honor, we're asking for you to give her credit for all those days. I believe she might already be satisfied.
Yeah, so once she gets credit for all of that, the TDC coordinator for the Bexar County Sheriff's Office will contact TDC and see how they want to handle it.
Okay. Thank you, Judge.
Okay, let's start with cause number ending in 1537. In that case, on the third degree felony offense of possession of a controlled substance in penalty group 2A, 1 to 4 grams. You were previously sentenced to 4 years confinement. I will find that violation of condition number 5 is true. I will grant the state's motion to reform your underlying sentence to 2 years confinement in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice Institutional Division. You do get credit for all the time you have been in custody on that case. Let's move on to cause number 6943.
Did that include the residential, Your Honor?
I'm going to go over it with the clerks after docket and make sure that she has all the right credit. But yes, she gets credit for every single day she's been in confinement, including the residential treatment.
Thank you, Your Honor.
In cause number ending in 6943, I do find violation of condition number 5 is true. I will grant the state's motion to revoke community supervision. In that case, Ms. Segovia, that's a second degree felony. You were found guilty of the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, 4 to 200 grams, and originally sentenced to 4 years confinement. I will reform your judgment and sentence you to 2 years confinement in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice Institutional Division. You get credit for the time you have been in custody on that case.
Okay.
And then finally, in cause number 2017 CR 6791, I do find violation of condition number 5 is true. I will grant the state's motion to revoke your community supervision. In that case, that is a third degree retaliation case. You were sentenced to 4 years confinement. I will reform your underlying judgment to 2 years confinement in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice Institutional Division. You do get credit for the time you have been in custody on that case.
Okay.
All of these cases, Ms. Segovia, I'm going to treat them as plea bargain agreements because you made an agreement as to revocation and you made an agreement to change your punishment from 4 years to 2 years. So I'm going to treat it as such. This is a plea bargain case. I do find that you do not have a right to appeal any of these matters. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You are all done from our end, and we will make sure that the credit is correct on there, Fernando, before I sign the judgment. Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor. I really appreciate it.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for your patience this morning.
Thank you.
And Ms. Segovia can go back. Yes, sir. Ms. Segovia can go back. On Greg Delgado, what is the date we reset him to, Ashley?
I never gave them a new date, Judge. They were conferring in the breakout room.
I think they're finished.
I'm still showing them in room 16.
Oh, okay. Hang on. I have Jarrell Wilkerson left. Agustin Aguilar on the PSI. Mr. Glover, and Evelyn Salinas. Is anybody ready on those? I know Aguilar is ready, right? Ernest, you're ready on that?
Yes,
Mr. Cox, Mr. Hernandez, is there going to be a plea? I have not sent out any paperwork.
No plea on Ms. Salinas just yet. We can get a breakout room with the court and prosecutor, please.
I believe we're ready on Wilkerson, Judge.
And on
Okay.
mine, there's gonna be a plea, so I just need to get some paperwork.
All right, so Cornelius, let's have you back here at 1:30. I have a judges meeting that I'm late for.
Okay.
So let's do yours at 1:30.
That's
Mr.
fine,
Glover will
Judge.
come back at 1:30.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, thank you. Yes, and then if you could move Mr. Hernandez so he can talk to Ms. Salinas. And I will take care of,
My apologies. Breakout with the court, not my client.
yes, Ashley will move you to a breakout room.
Who can Mr. Hernandez confer with?
I spoke with,
I'm available. That's me. I'm available, Ashley.
oh, awesome.
So Glover, recall him for 1:30, Diego. I don't have paperwork on Mr. Wilkerson. Did you say you're ready? Mr. Valachek,
Yes, Judge.
what are you guys doing on the MTR?
Revoke and reform to 1244 JSAT.
It's going to be a JSAT, Judge. Yes.
Mr. Wilkerson has not signed. The paperwork is at the jail.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Call the jail, please. Wilkerson has a document he has to sign. And tell them to hurry it up because I gotta go to a meeting and you guys gotta go to lunch. Are you ready on Agustin Aguilar, Mr. Acevedo?
Yes, Judge.
Okay.
Hello, can I talk to my lawyer?
Who's that, Mr. Aguilar?
Can I talk to my lawyer?
Well, you can, but then I'm gonna have to ask you guys to come back at 1:30. I'm ready to proceed to sentencing.
I mean, I know we talked, Mr. Aguilar. Is there something brand new? Okay. You're muted.
Yeah, does my good time for being locked up is
You will
good?
get credit. You've been in jail for a long time. Any credit? Yeah,
Okay.
you'll have credit for that.
Okay, that's it.
This is a recommendation of deferred, though.
It is, Judge.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, let's go on the record, please. This is cause number 2020 CR 11678, the state of Texas versus Agustin Aguilar. Attorneys, please make your announcements for the record.
Jennifer Meza for the state of Texas.
And Ernest Acevedo III for Mr. Aguilar.
Mr. Aguilar is appearing by video conference from the Bexar County Jail. Go ahead and tell me your full name.
Agustin Aguilar.
Okay, we're here on the results of the pre-sentence investigation report as well as the DDRF evaluation and the TAP evaluation. And this is a recommendation of deferred. Mr. Acevedo, have you reviewed all of those documents and do you have any objections or anything you want to offer on behalf of your client?
I have reviewed them, Your Honor. I have no objections. And what I would like to offer is to make the court aware that Mr. Aguilar has been in jail for almost 9 months now. There were some drug issues that were pretty significant, but he's been off drugs for 9 months. And we are in agreement with the TAP evaluation where, and I've talked to probation a little bit about it this morning, about trying to get him into the dual diagnosis outpatient treatment program, along with AA meetings. He's been 9 months clean now. He admits he needs to stay that way if anything's going to go well for him. And I think that's the best place to start with him to see if he can be successful.
Okay. Mr. Aguilar, before I proceed to sentencing, there's something that you have to know. Your family does not want to have any contact with you. In fact, they're very opposed to your application for probation. As part of the conditions of your probation, there is a no contact order with Rigo Vasquez, Juanita Navarro, and Angel Delgado and Berta Aguilar. No contact means no contact. You don't go there. Even if they say, it's all right, Agustin, just come on over and have dinner. Everything's fine. That's not my court order. My court order is no contact. If that needs to change, it can change. I am flexible, but it has to go through the probation department. So don't go and have and sit dinner with your family, especially if you haven't seen them in such a long time, under any circumstance, until probation sends me a request and I sign off on it. And I'm being very clear with you, Mr. Aguilar, because they are very opposed to this application for probation. They don't want you on probation. I mean, they made that very clear to me. So the best I can do is to tell you to honor the no contact order. And if it has to change, it can change. Just don't do it and then ask, for it to be changed after you violate it. Don't violate it. It's not worth it. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And Judge, there is one point of clarification on that. Certainly, I'm aware of what you read. And so, yeah, his sister, brother, the brother's husband, those three are adamant about that. And we've explained that. The mother didn't give a statement. The mother still contacts him, sends him money, does want to have contact with him. That's Bertha Aguilar. She's not a complainant in this case. And so she is listed because I think they wanted to make sure because she's elderly. But it's my understanding that his mother does want to have contact with him. And I just wanted to kind of put that on the record because she's not asking for prison. She wants to help him. And she's different from the other three, just position wise. And I certainly would like probation potentially to look into that to make sure that if he can have contact with his mother, that we allow that if both of them want to and it's safe.
I'm going to stick to the no contact order as we've agreed on the plea. I am willing to change it as soon as she calls my probation department. It is a quick turnaround. From the time that probation sends me something to the time I sign it is the same day. So, Mr. Aguilar, I just need you to hang tight and don't violate it. If your mom wants to see you, let her call your probation officer. There is a way to do it. I just don't want to take any chances with that. Okay?
Okay, ma'am. Understand.
Okay, so let's proceed to sentencing. I did find the evidence was sufficient to substantiate your guilt back on May 17, 2021. I will make no other findings at this time. I will grant the application for deferred adjudication for a period of 8 years. There's a $1,500 fine. The affirmative finding of a deadly weapon is held in abeyance. I'm going to order no contact with Rigo Vasquez, Juanita Navarro, Angel Delgado, Berta Aguilar, 200 hours of community service. I'm going to order supportive outpatient. That's the lowest form of outpatient treatment that there is. We're going to start with that. And if what you're telling me is I haven't done anything in 9 months, I'm clean and sober, I expect you to stay that way.
Yes,
Okay?
ma'am. Yes,
All
ma'am.
right. Mr. Aguilar, this is a plea bargain case. I did follow your plea bargain agreement. You do not have a right to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm going to put you in a breakout room with probation. You're going to sign your conditions. And then if you have no other holds, you should be released today.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, you're welcome.
Oh, wow. Going home.
Yes, so I need. Ashley, on Greg Delgado, let's go ahead and set him for September. If you look in the middle of September, there's like, September is kind of weird because the first week or two is judicial conferences. And then at the end, there's also judicial conferences. So for sure, I'll be here the week of September 13th. So let's put Greg Delgado on September 13th.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Is that a trial setting?
No, I have to give Michael Young some time to get up to speed on everything. Okay. All right, thank you. Michael just left. He had to go take care of a phone call on a different case.
Okay, I don't know, does he receive emails? Because usually the emails that I send him get sent to other people, I think. So I just want to make sure that he knows to contact me if he needs anything.
Yes, I will tell him that.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
Okay. Bye, Mr. Davidson. Have a good one. Delgado's free to go. Okay, we're gonna do Wilkerson and then we're gonna be back at 1:30 or whenever my judge's meeting is over.
Judge, that was all for family violence. May I be excused?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. We'll see you soon.
Judge, was the hearing held on Mr. Jenkins?
That case was terminated.
Were they going to send Mr. Aguilar to a breakout room? Could someone send Mr. Aguilar to a breakout room?
Ashley Aguilar has to go to a breakout room with
I had
probation.
I had moved him. They're both in
Mr.
3. He hasn't moved.
Mr. Aguilar, you have to go to the breakout room, so get someone to help you with that. You need to. Okay, so Glover's coming back at 1:30. So is Kyle Phillips. Those are the only ones I have coming back at 1:30. Mr. Hernandez is still conferring. So let's take care of Wilkerson and then I have to end the meeting. Let's go on the record. Mr. Belichick, are you ready?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, this is cause number 2020 CR 4976, the state of Texas versus Jarrell Robert Wilkerson. Attorneys, please make your announcements for the record.
Yes, Your Honor. Luis Echeverria for the state of Texas.
Michael Valachek for the defendant.
Luis, do you have your motion to revoke?
I do, Your Honor.
Okay, go ahead and read your first
Yes,
violation.
Judge. Yes, Judge. In Bexar County, Texas, the defendant, Jarrell Robert Wilkerson, did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of September and October 2020 in violation of condition number 5.
Is that true or not true, Mr. Wilkerson?
True. Your Honor, the
Okay.
state would move to waive and abandon the remaining allegations.
Okay, what is the recommendation?
Judge, the state's recommending that you enter an adjudication of guilt, make a finding of guilt, enter the adjudication, and sentence him to 184 days in the Bexar County Jail. It's the state's understanding, Judge, that that would satisfy the judgment pursuant to 1244A.
Okay, is that your agreement, Mr. Belichick?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Wilkerson, that's what you want to do?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Wilkerson, you were previously found guilty of the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, less than a gram. That's a state jail felony. I am going to find that violation of condition number 5 is true. I will revoke your community supervision, and I will reform your underlying judgment from 2 years to 180 days confinement. I'm sorry, 184 days confinement in the Bexar County Jail pursuant to section 1244 of the Penal Code. This is a plea bargain case, Mr. Wilkerson. Because you did make an agreement to reform your judgment. So I'm going to treat it as such, and you do not have a right to appeal. Mr. Wilkerson, just so you know, I'm going to make a note to the sheriff's office that this judgment is satisfied. However, because it is a TDC case, the TDC coordinator has to get all the paperwork done. So just know if it's a couple of days and you still haven't been released, it's for that reason. It's not on our end. They have to process the paperwork, okay?
Yes,
But
ma'am.
for whatever reason, Mr. Wilkerson, I don't show a signature for you on this this trial court certification of your right to appeal. I don't know what happened, but we're gonna have to do that one again. So, Ashley, how do you want to handle this?
I'm sending a new one right now. They can just sign.
Yeah, a standalone form. Look at the email, Mr. Wilkerson, so you can sign just the form I'm about to send.
Yes, ma'am.
And then I'll let you go once you do that.
Okay.
Mr. Valichek, we're just going to hang back and take care of that if you want to. If you need
Okay,
somewhere else
thanks,
you have to go to. You're welcome. Thank you. All right, we're in recess until 1:30. I printed out the stuff because I'm going to have to sign it manually. Did you get it, Mr. Wilkerson? It's part of his.
I'm working on it, Judge, but Mr. Belichick does need to sign.
Oh, yeah, you might want to call him then. Well, you can't just send it to Wilkerson because he already signed the other one.
No, Judge, it's got to have everybody's signature on it.
Okay. Then he needs to go back on. I need to make someone else the host so I can get on the other Zoom.
Oh, I'm done? Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, Taurus, I'm gonna make you the host. Don't go anywhere, Mr. Wilkerson. We're gonna get you that document, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So Salinas is still there talking to her attorney, so find out what they're gonna do. I'll set it for a contested.
And you're done.
Yeah. I don't know what I wrote on something.
And you wrote on all three of Brandon's, the Brandon Velasquez's cases.
No, but it's for single for the girl. So I put 3 different things in there, so something,
Okay.
something's not right.
Okay.
I didn't pack a lunch because I was rushing this morning. Guess I'll order to meet. Is the cafeteria open downstairs?
It should be.
Maybe I'll take a.
Yeah, but they only smell like, they just smell like burger. That's what David's are. Burger or this and that.
I need all my weddings back. I heard next door hogged up my weddings last week.
Yes.
How many?
Mr. Wilkerson, the document is with you.
We'll just talk to that.
So Ash, so the attorney signed it already?
Yes, it's with Mr. Wilkerson.
All right, good to go.
Is that it?
Hey Ash, did he sign it? Is he good to go?
Yes, he signed. You're free to go, Mr. Wilkerson.
Thank you very much.
I think we're done and we can end the meeting.
Okay. Thank you.